Welcome. I know you want to go deep in conversation about time before history, yet at the time of Great Sphinx, pyramids, and we are going to listen a podcast that talks just about that. Talks about how a new Sphinx may be discovered on the opposite side of the current famous Sphinx in Egypt. And this was done by Filippo Biondi, a scientist that claims that he discovered the shafts underneath the Great Pyramids of Egypt. Shafts that go down deep with spirals, open chambers, size of cities. Small cities, that is. So, this is what he's going to announce on this podcast called Matt Beale Podcast. Filippo Biondi, breaking news, second Sphinx found under Giza Plateau. And imagine this, we're going to introduce a newer game. Civilization 4. 2008, I think. Well, even before that, I think it was 2000. 2008 was the latest expansion, I think. Anyhow, we're gonna play Civilization 4 and listen to Filippo Biondi on Matt Beale Podcast. Check him out.
We've got a major announcement that you're making on this podcast for what you believe to be a second Sphinx.
Robert Duval told us that could be a second Sphinx. Why? Because there is the dream stele. Symmetrical correlations, like the symmetry that we saw observed.
This is the second one right here.
Stele. This is the small mountain that we are observing where the hypothetical position of the second Sphinx
makes sense.
would be.
So those would be shafts coming down from the top. Does that indicate then that the second Sphinx would be hollow on the inside if the red is showing up?
Probably yes. We scanned the first Sphinx, all the pyramids, the conjunction between the Sphinx and the Khafre pyramid, and we found vertical shafts, horizontal passages.
This has the big void as a very long and rectangular shaped void.
Yes.
There hasn't really been an opportunity for you to address a lot of the questions that some of the skeptics might have about the work.
Thank you for this opportunity, man. Maybe the next will be Awara, and then other megalithic sites.
Maybe start. I'm excited to talk to you today because this is you're going to drop a couple of bombshells on this podcast.
Let's go.
I'm excited to hear about the second Sphinx, and this will probably be a little bit different than other podcasts that you've done. I feel like your story is out there. People, for the most part, understand what it is that you've done and what it is that you intend to do. So we're going to focus less on that today. Yes. I do want you to introduce yourself and then talk a little bit about, of course, just frame the work that you've done. But we won't spend a lot of time on that. Yeah. So
thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah.
For inviting me here. For me, is I appreciate a lot this. Invitation, and yes, we are here, and if I can, we can introduce the technology that it is under the work that we have now began years ago, and so we can recap all the things that we have done. We started working together with Corrado Malanga, and he is a retired professor in chemistry and green chemistry at the University of Pisa, Italy, and me, that I was contract professor at the University of Strathclyde, Glasgow, USA, UK.
One second. There we go. Oops.
Sorry, and then now I am an independent researcher as a telecommunication engineer, where I graduate in University of Lecce, Italy, south of Italy. My background was, as a telecommunication engineer. I attended my PhD and completed my PhD at the University La Sapienza in Rome, and specializing myself in remote sensing in satellites.
Remote sensing,
especially in synthetic aperture radar. It was in that time. I'm speaking at 5 years ago now. Speaking with Corrado, we had to find a method to watch inside the things, because there were a lot of unrevealed situations in the field of archaeology, and so we developed a method using synthetic aperture radar, where we are able to estimate the vibrations that are located at the surface of the Earth. And so on, we started to work together, and we tuned very precisely this method, and we went immediately to observe things inside the Cheops pyramid. It was 2019, and where we published a peer-review article showing the results that we that we estimated inside the Cheops pyramid. We were interested in detecting the so-called big void. Then we did. It is all written on my article. And so we were able to detect, yes, of course, the big void, but also other features that are present inside that are probably present inside the Cheops pyramid.
Interesting.
We don't believe that the big void is parallel to the Grand Gallery, like that. Big void is superficial. It is 90 degree, or let's say it's parallel to the Earth, so it is parallel.
Do we have an image of this scan that was done?
Maybe I have to prepare it. I have to show. It is important that people has to. Yes, in this presentation I prepared is not present, but maybe we will show you after the break. That picture, because it's very important, Matt. Because I appreciate, it is wonderful, the work that the Scan Pyramid is doing, because it is they started before me, and they are well established inside the pyramid, so they are doing a great work. But in my personal opinion, and comparing the scans that they made with mine, there is a bit a discrepancy. While is not present any discrepancy comparing the results that we have estimated, showing the corridor that is immediately behind the chevron, that corridor that Zaki Hawass discovered personally while drilling a small hole and inserting a camera, and so we saw the corridor.
This is on the north face.
North face, yes.
Yep. Okay.
Yes.
And on the lower part
Yes.
of the. Yep.
Yes. We discovered that we measured features of that corridor 6 months before, and those features that we measured were completely matching with the feature measured by the Scam Pyramid project. So there we can see the front corridor and the queen's chamber, I'm sorry, and the bottom chamber that is
He's in a sense
located inside
proving
the
his
Cheops
work
pyramid.
is genuine
And
on existing
that feature,
holes
bright feature,
on the
that
pyramids.
is the big void. Look, it
Is
is
exactly where
parallel
the radar is detecting
with
them.
respect to the Grand Gallery.
And so this is a scan that you analyzed what,
Yes.
5 years ago?
Yes.
Okay. And
Yes.
so was this? Did you make this public at that time? You
Yes.
said this was peer reviewed.
This is a picture that has been grabbed from my article,
Okay.
from our article that is online.
Okay.
It is open source, so everyone can download it, and it is online.
And so
It's
was this the first big kind of coming out
Yeah.
for you to have this article come out? And this is when the buzz kind of started and people started to get interested in this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
This it was the
No, not Gandhi.
the first door that we opened on this topic.
Okay. Okay. And so let's go back to that image and look at it then, Ryan. So the big void is showing as, and it looked like there was maybe a second little chamber potentially
Yeah.
near
Okay. That's okay. We can look. There you have the chevron, and then you have the corridor. The corridor. That corridor was this. We have optical image of that corridor. At the end of that corridor, look, there is a small chamber because we have a void there. Then it is connected directly to the Grand Gallery, and on the top of the Grand Gallery, there you have the big void. That is the big void there, on the Grand Gallery.
So the image on the left is your creation based on the scan.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And on the bottom right, that big patch of red that's known chambers.
Yes.
Okay. And those are outside of the pyramid?
Where are you in the?
The big red blotch.
Yes.
on the,
That's it is related to the tomographic inversion. We know that thing. It is the floor, no, the floor of the pyramid. They are superficial vibration that are very, very bright.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
know.
So do you want to maybe talk a little bit about the technology itself? So
Yes.
so I think for today, what we'll do maybe is thank you for a phenomenal introduction. Thank you to kind of ground people on what we're talking about today.
Yes.
I think now we maybe get into just a few minutes on the technology itself and kind of how it works.
Absolutely, yes.
And then from there, we've got a major announcement that you're making on this podcast, which I'm very appreciative of. Thank you for what you believe to be a second Sphinx, which we'll talk about.
Okay, probably yes. We are investigating. We are still investigating this, and later we will after the introduction of the technology, we will speak about this probably hypothetic second Sphinx that we are very confident to announce this. But everything has to be confirmed. I am still working on this. Maybe I can tell you we have a confidence about 80%.
Okay.
So it's very high.
Okay, fantastic. And then from there, we'll kind of close off with what I wanted to do for this podcast is talk about things that you've never talked about before. So So the introduction, great. This bomb that you're going to drop on the second Sphinx is great, and then we'll kind of close off with some questions that a lot of debunkers or skeptics might want to ask you. Because I feel like the story is out there and you've explained everything else in great detail on a lot of podcasts, Joe Rogan included, but there hasn't really been an opportunity for you to address a lot of the questions that some of the skeptics might have about
Thank you for
the
this
work.
opportunity.
So you're
man.
welcome. You're welcome. So I think it'll be a great show, but why don't we just kick off with a little bit about the technology?
Yes. The technology is very simple. I go a bit back in time when I was at the university in Lecce, south of Italy, and I was doing my degree. I was attending my degree, my thesis. That I did it with together too. That I thank him a lot, Professor Nicola Veneziani, my professor. He used to work at that time. Now he retired. At the National Research Council located in Bari. And they used to work on synthetic aperture radar data. You know, also now, but in the past, radar was going inside the market. They were shooting in the space new satellites like Cosmos Skymed, the second generation. Matt, when I start speaking about space satellites, we can stay here one day, and so you have to interrupt me, please. Sorry if I will be a bit long in describing this nice universe that we have, which is space. Space is very important for us because now space is growing up and is becoming very important to is going inside our living, our life. Everyone has a GPS navigator, everyone has things that are related with space, and so it is growing up every day. At the time, the Italians were putting in orbit a very important satellite system called Cosmos Skymed, first generation. 4 satellites, where these satellites had a payload constituted by a synthetic aperture radar. What it is? Synthetic aperture radar is a radar, so just sending electromagnetic waves and receiving the echoes, but there is the magic word called synthetic. What it means, synthetic? Synthetic, it means that while the satellite is flying on its orbit, which is a low Earth orbit, approximately 600 kilometers in distance with respect to the surface of the Earth, traveling at the...
So I'm sorry, but that is 600 kilometers would be about 400 miles or...
400 miles,
okay.
Yes.
So we're talking, and planes fly at 35,000 feet, so they're flying at 6 miles or something like that. So this is, while it's low altitude for a satellite, it's still up there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is the first, let's say, distance where the atmosphere is it's nearly not present. Okay, it is the minimum distance where we don't have the atmosphere, and so they can run very fast, 7 kilometers per second. It means that in 1 second they did 7 kilometers.
Whoa.
That's very important.
And how fast is so? What is that? Thousands of miles per hour.
Thousands of miles.
Like
yes.
maybe 50,000 miles per hour or something like that.
Yes, because the atmosphere at that velocity, it is like concrete.
Yeah.
It's a concrete.
Right. Right. Okay.
And so synthetic. Synthetic, it means that we have to, when we watch something, when we do a snapshot of the Earth using electromagnetic waves, so coherent electromagnetic waves, we have to resolve 2 dimensions, the range and the azimuth. I take it easy. The range you resolve it by the electromagnetic bandwidth. So more bandwidth you have allocated, the more resolution you have. The resolution is the ability to see and to watch details of a picture. Okay? The problem is the azimuth. In order to synthesize a high resolution of the ground in the azimuth direction, you need to synthesize a huge antenna in the space. An antenna that can be long 50 kilometers, 60 kilometers. The more long is the antenna, the better is the azimuth resolution on your pictures. Okay? So how you can build a so huge antenna in the space is impossible. So you use small pieces of the physical antenna of the radar and you synthesize a virtual antenna in the space.
A virtual antenna.
A virtual antenna,
Okay.
yes. And so the name is synthetic aperture radar. Okay? In order to do this, you need an important physical aspect that rises up because of the high velocity that is called the Doppler effect. The Doppler effect, what it is? Acoustics. So the azimuth direction is resolved by the sound, music, the sound, that is encapsulated inside the returned electromagnetic waves, and so you have the picture, the SAR image. What we did in our technique, in our technology, we find a method to retrieve tiny vibrations of the surface of the Earth, and those vibrations are coming back from what there is underground the Earth. So, having the history of the vibration of the surface of the Earth, we can perform the so-called tomographic inversion, and so to scan what there is underneath.
Okay, and how accurate are the images based on the surface vibrations?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is normal that the images that we are able to retrieve by reprocessing these vibrations are not so accurate with respect to images that we can have with a precise camera or something like that. They are approximated, we know this, but they are sufficiently accurate to retrieve important features that are located inside the matter.
Okay, so the images that you got of the pyramid itself that showed the big void,
Yes.
you were scanning the surface of the pyramid itself for
and those are acoustic images.
acoustic images, scanning the vibrations of the pyramid
Yeah.
itself, and that showed
What there is inside.
what's inside.
Yeah.
Okay, fascinating. Yeah. So, talk to me about how the sound, how that works, and how sound is able to penetrate through the ground level. You're saying that so the planes that are flying at 60
600 kilometers.
400 miles up in
Yes.
the air, and they're taking these photographs. Those are not sound. That's
Yes, I tell you.
So
I have to explain you better this.
Right.
Okay. The satellite is flying in the space, and it is following his path, a very precise path, which is called orbit. Here we have the Earth. The Earth is rotating in one day, one rotation. And let's say the satellites are flying, following this path. South Pole, North Pole. South Pole, North Pole. While they are orbiting around the Earth is rotating like that. And the orbit will remain constant because of the conservation of the angular momentum. And so, every day, one satellite has the chance to observe any part of the world in one day. So, they use electromagnetic wave to catch the photos. And these electromagnetic waves has a central frequency centered at 10 gigahertz. Okay? So they flash the Earth and they return the signal, the reflected signal, and they store it in the memory. They digitalize this information, they store it in the memory, like that. So while I am sending the electromagnetic waves, these electromagnetic waves interacts with the Earth. If the Earth is vibrating, the electromagnetic waves are frequency modulated because of the Doppler effect. The Doppler effect is that effect that goes to interfere with the frequency of any kind of oscillating phenomena, also sound. Do you know, have you noticed, Matt, when you are watching an ambulance with the, how you call it? The
siren.
The siren that is on. While the ambulance is approaching you, you hear the sound of the ambulance rising in frequency, like that. And when it passes your zero Doppler here and goes behind of you, the frequency of the frequency of the sound that is emitting the ambulance decreases.
The Doppler
That's
effect.
the Doppler effect.
Gotcha.
So you use this physical effect in order to grab the information of the superficial vibration that is present always and constantly on the surface of the Earth, because the surface of the Earth is always vibrating. Let's say because is interacting with the background of earthquake noise, always present. That's always present. Then you have, I don't know, in 100 kilometers far away from where you are observing, there is a huge city. The huge city is in life, so everything vibrates, and that vibrations are always present on the surface of the Earth.
Right. So it's just the surface vibration. The sound is not penetrating. There's not sound going from the sky.
The electromagnetic waves that you are transmitting, that is light, that is not penetrating.
Right.
No.
Right.
Is only interacting with the superficial vibration of the Earth.
So you can understand the density of specific structures going down as far as 1,000 meters potentially, just based on the surface vibration of the Earth.
It's like when you are observing the superficial waves of a swimming pool. The swimming pool, you know this. There are superficial waves. Think about the superficial waves on the Earth. Okay, so the Earth is like a swimming pool, and because there is an abrupt variation of the density of the material, so the Earth, and then there is the atmosphere, the air, and there is an abrupt variation of the density. And that is called a cut of density. And in that surface, you find a family of waves that are called evanescent waves, which are very amplified. And you are observing that evanescent waves that are located on the surface of the Earth.
Okay, nice. Okay, fantastic. Yeah, no, I think that's a great...
Sorry if it's a bit complicated.
No, it's very helpful clarification there. Thank you. Yep.
Thank you.
I think why don't we move on to the presentation now and kind of dive into that. So Ryan, if you could pull that up, please, sir. There's a couple of big things that we're going to cover here. So
let me quickly say, this guy is awesome. The podcast, the host, I don't know how I haven't, encountered this guy. Could be a little bit new. I don't know, but he's pretty awesome, man. He's really respectful. He listens well. It's really great. It's a real enjoyment listening to this.
You could just walk us through.
This is the logo of the event that we are having on the 21st of June 2026 in Bologna, Italy. Will be in Italian language, but 2 days after the... Let's see if maybe we will do a translation. I don't know. We are thinking about something like that, but 2 days after this presentation, we will publish it on YouTube, also in English language. So,
Okay.
and
Great.
here we will explain all the scans that we did on the Giza Plateau, and we will announce the end of the measurement part of this project, and so we will move maybe on a practical in situ exploration of the land.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right. Great. So what do we
Whatever
have
that
here?
means.
Yes, here we have
Practical
we have
exploration
the
of the
dream
land.
let's say I show you a portion of the large measurement campaign that we did on the Giza Plateau. We are now 3 years that we are working on this project. I show you this, the Dream Stele. The Dream Stele, we see there that there are 2 Sphinx. I'm not an archaeologist, so I don't know a lot about the history of the Dream Stele. But here
Interesting.
we are watching 2 Sphinx. One watching on the, let's say, on the right side, and one watching on the left side of the stele. Look. And the stele is symmetrical. It is symmetrical. There are things belonging on the left, and things that are belonging on the right. Look. And so we have 2 Sphinx. And according to a study that made Damiano Piras, which is he contacted us a few months ago, and I didn't know about all this story concerning that probably could be a second Sphinx in the Giza Plateau. And I'm not so using this, but I remember that also Robert Duval told us that could be a second Sphinx.
Robert Duval.
Why? Because there
The
is
OG.
the Dream Stele that explains on it 2 Sphinx, not 1.
And when
Okay.
was the Dream Stela created, Ryan? Do you know, or do you know the date of this?
I don't remember, Matt.
Okay.
Maybe we can go in detail after, but I don't remember. Yes. Okay. Thank you.
The 18th dynasty. So potentially way after the Sphinx was created, but potentially they could have known about a second Sphinx, but it's not in any other writing. So that's interesting. But
Yeah.
in any case, let's continue.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, yes, this guy is Damiano asked us, Filippo, I have that I am showing now on this presentation. I have a specific part, a specific piece of land, a specific space on the Giza Plateau where I am sure that there is a second Sphinx. He told me this, and so we made a call with Damiano, and we started to interact together, and okay, we decided to shift the technology and to scan that specific piece of land that he told us to that he suggests us to go and scan. Look, here we are watching the Giza Plateau, and I am now in this moment I am watching that specific piece of land where could be a second Sphinx. Look, we can observe it from the top. This is the classical satellite image
One
that
second.
Google Earth is giving us, and we are observing
I'll fix this. Nice. Okay. Sorry about that.
Sphinx. Look, we can observe it from the top. This is the classical satellite image that Google Earth is giving us, and we are observing the first Sphinx that is there, and then there is a part of this photo where could be a second Sphinx.
Okay. Gotta tell us. Yeah, I don't know. Where is it?
Is there, look. Symmetrically, as the dream stele is telling us,
Interesting.
the segment B connects the average, the middle part of the base of the Khafre pyramid to the first Sphinx. Look, Matt. Symmetrically, if we consider the Cheops pyramid and we make the same thing connecting the middle part of the base of the Cheops, and we go to the second Sphinx symmetrically, look,
Which is A.
through the segment A.
Yeah, but
Segment A would be pointing to where the second Sphinx would be.
Look, the end
So the
of the
second
segment
Sphinx
A. While the
be
end of the
here.
segment B is
Currently-
pointing the first Sphinx,
Sphinx is
the
here.
end of the segment A is pointing the second Sphinx.
Huh. It looks like there's something there above ground.
That
but
makes total
you're
sense.
saying...
Now we go in detail in the presentation.
Okay.
And we can see, look, we watch very in detail this slide. Segment A is parallel to segment B. Then segment C is parallel to segment D.
Right.
Okay. If we connect the first Sphinx to the second Sphinx with segment GH, we can see that while segment A is parallel to segment B, C is parallel to D, the length of A over C is equal to B over D.
Okay.
Then E is equal to F, G over A is equal to H over B. So we are finding precise, how you say, geometrical correlation, 100% of correlation
Wow.
in this symmetry.
Okay. That's big. So there could be something there.
It could be something, I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
Maybe yes.
Yeah.
He's
Who
happy.
knows?
Okay. That's huge. So so you scanned it?
We go.
All right. All right.
Okay, then, no, right, okay. The next one, next slide, okay. We go slowly because there
Yeah.
are a lot of correlations. So, we move in the angle, in the angles. The angles are very simple. Alpha 1 is equal to alpha 2. So, the angles are the same. Alpha 3 is equal to alpha 4. And alpha 5 is equal to alpha 6.
This is advanced
Why?
geometry, bro.
Because A is parallel to B and D is parallel to C. So the geometry is well known.
Sure.
Then, okay, look.
Are these by chance Pythagorean triangles, or are we're going to get to that?
Yes,
Okay.
now we go.
Okay. All right.
Then we see, look, we are observing two squares. the footprint. I call it the footprint in a satellite in the satellite field. The footprint of the Khafre pyramid and the footprint of the Cheops pyramid. Cheops pyramid is bigger. The footprint of the Cheops pyramid is bigger with respect to the footprint of the Khafre pyramid. Another slide. Okay, and we can see that the area of the footprint of the Cheops pyramid is equal to the area of the triangle of the blue triangle, and the area of the footprint of the Khafre pyramid is equal to the other triangle, the purple triangle.
Wow.
Exactly the same.
Wow. Okay.
Another slide.
Just the fact that
So the chances of another object being here with suspicious dimensions as the other Sphinx is just, they're so slim, yet there it is.
that the area of the middle pyramid and the area of the triangle that connects the center point between the two pyramids and the Sphinx are equal to each other. Just that alone is pretty mind-blowing.
So area 1 is equal to area 2, and area 3 is equal to area 4. And we began just correlating the position of the first Sphinx to the position of the hypothetical second Sphinx. And all these correlations rised and are symmetrical correlations, like the symmetry that we saw observing the dream stele at the beginning of the presentation.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
We're onto something.
We go, okay, this is the small mountain that we are observing where the hypothetic position of the second Sphinx could be.
Bro.
This is the mountain. This photo, Damiano went in situ and he gave me this photo.
Okay.
Okay.
So is that, you're going to get to this, I'm sure, but are you suggesting that the second Sphinx is underneath that mound, or that it used to be a part of that and above that mound?
Okay. Here we have to do some considerations, Matt.
Okay.
That small mountain has a height of approximately 55 meters.
Okay.
Okay. If we move to the first Sphinx, the Sphinx is a bit underneath. It's not above the surface of the Giza Plateau. It's a bit down. Begins a bit with a depression. Okay.
So the first Sphinx is at lower elevation than this mound.
Yes.
Okay. As it relates to sea level or to the ground?
I have
to the plateau.
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe we
Relative
have
to the plateau, where the
study
pyramids
this,
are,
what
the
we are
Sphinx is
saying.
lower.
Yes,
Okay.
it has sense, but I don't know.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
And so probably the second Sphinx is under that mountain, that small mountain,
Okay.
because it is high. It has 55 meters of height with respect to the background.
Okay.
It is a
There
possibility.
is the small mountain. I just put some photos.
It
So do you
means if
think
it's
that the
buried,
mound-
if it's a
that
lower,
mound is just a natural.
if you see, it kind of looks flat, but even though you don't see like a head curvature and stuff like that, but it could be the case because it's also at a depression relative to the pyramids plateau. meaning hence the apparent flat surface. It doesn't kind of have the curvature of a sphinx, but it's because it's down. It's underneath the Giza Plateau. Crazy stuff, interesting stuff. And so you see, it's a weird shape. It's not a natural hill. It's elongated. Looks like something's been done here by somebody.
Formation or just a natural, like, what is that? That's just limestone, I guess, that's sitting above the surrounding
It
area.
is, that mountain is composed by solidified sand.
Okay, got it.
Huh?
Got it.
It's
So
not bedrock, it's solidified sand.
if it was bedrock, I guess the whole thing wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But right, it would have to be sand. So that makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, so what we did, we moved to try and make some measurements. So we shifted the technology there. This is a satellite image, a SAR, synthetic aperture radar image. So Matt, we are now watching a radar image. You are seeing how different is a radar image with respect to an optical image. You can say how ugly it is. Yes, but a radar image, you have to be, we have to say this. A radar image, you can catch a radar image during the night, during the day, and also if it's cloudy, and also if it rains. So you have it always. You have an ugly image, yes, but you have it always. But the contribution in terms of information that is printed inside a SAR image is order of magnitude higher with respect to an optical image. Why? Because the radar image has been produced by coherent transmissions. Coherent, it means that you have the information of the magnitude and also the information of the phase of the electromagnetic wave. So let's say that 98% of all the information is inside the phase. So the quantity of information that is encoded inside that image, it is very high because you have the phase. Okay? And the phase is a direct measurement of the distance belonging between the satellite and the ground. The distance, you have a direct measurement. Okay? Okay. So there is the tomographic line. So what we are observing on that tomographic line, like a vertical curtain inside the Earth. Imagine a vertical curtain that is going inside the Earth on that tomographic line. So you extract the X-ray, let's say, of the internal of the Earth. There. I don't know if I am explaining well this.
I think so. Yeah, I'm generally following, so I think the audience will get it. Yep. Good. Okay. So this is not orientated northwest, southeast.
No,
this image?
it is. We have to go a slide up. So to. Okay. The Cheops pyramid is there. No, sorry, there.
Okay, right.
Is there. Is on the bottom.
So north is on the right, basically. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that the image in the center is the mound. Is that
the
solidified
mountain.
mound
Yes.
of sand? Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. All right. Good. Thank you. And it does look like a. I mean, the mound is not necessarily in the exact shape of the second Sphinx, assuming that there is one.
No,
but
probably the second Sphinx is hidden inside the solidified sand.
Okay. Yeah, it would be interesting to figure out how much higher that mound is in elevation than the top of the
I
Sphinx
got it.
number one.
Thank you for this question.
Yeah.
We should do it.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Because that'll tell you the depth. But it sounds like maybe your scans using your technology
Yes.
have been able to closely approximate the depth of the second Sphinx.
Absolutely yes.
Yeah.
Work in progress. We are doing this kind of measurements. It will be nice to go in situ there and make some validation, especially the height of the top level of the Sphinx, so the top of the face of the Sphinx, if it matches with the top, absolutely, if matches with the top of that mountain. Could be interesting. This.
And there's never been any other digging or excavations done in this area?
Never.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah, fascinating. Let's keep moving.
Okay, here I show you this. This is a preliminary result that we are disclosing this preliminary result, and all the results will be disclosed on Bologna. But I wanted to give you this result because this is important. Here, what we are watching, this is a scan that we did along that tomographic line there. What we are watching, Matt, this is very important. I feel to stand up and go there and explain you this slide here. You are watching the section of the mountain on the top. The section of the mountain, that one, on the top.
Okay.
And
so the top part of the image on the right is the top of the second Sphinx, potentially?
Potentially, yes.
Okay, got it.
Potentially, yes, Matt. And while we are doing this podcast, my computers are processing. So this is one of the scans that we are doing. We have several scans, and they are going
Interesting.
more precise now. So what can I expect? That now we are seeing a few pixels there. I wish to see this the sagoma of the second Sphinx there. Why? Because we are observing, you are watching those red stuff that are going down.
Mm-hmm.
There we are watching nearly the same shafts that we have measured on the first Sphinx. So if the symmetry is maintained, the same things that we are observing on this first Sphinx, we should observe it also here on a hypothetical second Sphinx.
Sure.
Right. Makes
Okay.
sense.
So those are three shafts that we are measuring, like that.
Okay, so those would be shafts coming
Yes.
down from the top. So does that indicate then that the second Sphinx would be hollow on the inside if the red is showing up as
Probably yes.
yeah?
Oh boy.
The alternating of red and blue, that's something that we have to discuss in detail, Matt. Look, a shaft is composed by inside hollow, and then there are the compound of the shafts, which are very hard. That if the tomographic line approaches the wall of the shafts, you see it red. If we move it like that, we can see it blue, hollow inside. The first one is hollow because we have other tomographies that shows us this, and we are now building a multi-layer 3D of that thing there, and we are working on that. So to
Okay.
rotate things on.
Have you
on
computer
vision.
have you looked at the first Sphinx to see how it would look compared to this image on the
Yes,
right?
and we are doing it.
Okay.
We are comparing the first Sphinx and the hypothetic second Sphinx.
Okay.
But on these results, for now, I am, I don't know, we can be we can have a 80% of I don't know of
Confidence.
confidence. Yes.
Okay.
And so the images of the first Sphinx,
Yeah.
do they also show shafts and any
Yes.
chambers beneath them?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And we discussed this on the on other podcasts, and we have shafts on the first Sphinx and shafts on an hypothetical second Sphinx.
Okay. Yeah. Let's keep moving. Is that kind of the? What do you have more on this?
Just to say that we can watch on this preliminary result that from the let's call it shaft number 3, the bottom one, the bottom shaft, there are also horizontal passages because we have it on other scans. So now we are observing where those horizontal passages are going. And they are symmetrical on the horizontal passages that we have estimated on the first Sphinx.
Okay.
So there is an incredible symmetry between the first and the second.
And so these vertical red lines,
yes.
going down, they would that represent an opening, or would that represent a solid structure?
Solid structure, but they are probably they are it is the how you say, the structure, the wall composing the shaft going down, because we have oriented the tomographic line where the tomographic line is intercepting not the vacant part of the shaft, but it is approaching the wall, its wall. So we will see it red, very dense.
Okay. And what do you think is down? What do you think is down there?
Yes,
Speculation.
Yes, speculation.
Yeah.
Down underneath the Giza Plateau, there is something very huge that we are measuring. There is an underground mega structure where there are these shafts that we are observing can be the entrance of the mega structures that are located below.
Question. Remember in the beginning he said, when he was asked what are those flashes on the picture that he showed, and he said those are, how did he say, like low frequency, something not to worry about, but those which comes up really bright. So I would like him to answer this question, like how does he differentiate between what that flashy thing that we're not supposed to worry about is and when it's not, because the holes and the shafts that are being measured that he claims are also reflecting as flashy spaces. So how does he make that difference? That's all I want to know.
The Giza Plateau.
Okay. So you've scanned multiple parts of the Giza Plateau, and
we scanned the first Sphinx, all the pyramids, the conjunction between the Sphinx and the Khafre pyramid, and we found vertical shafts, horizontal passages. We know exactly where to go. In this case, look, we know exactly where to work and clean in order to have a secure access, secure in terms that maybe people can go also, but we have to do some work, and then maybe I explain you to have access to the underground of Giza, because Giza has an underground, not an underground world, let's say.
Okay. So this is new for you. I mean, in terms of when you realized that there's possibly a second Sphinx, because you were just on Joe Rogan, but you've saved this for the Matt Bell podcast.
Yes.
Has this come up between now and then, or have you been looking at this for a while?
When I was at the Joe Rogan podcast, we just began to speak with Damiano, and we were setting up the processing. So now the processing is ongoing, and it's for you.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah. Any other thoughts on this? I feel like there's probably 100 questions that I should be thinking about asking, but anything else on the second Sphinx that you'd like to share?
No, for now, no. We have showed everything. Just it is important to say that. For the second Sphinx, it's important to go in situ there with some geologists, and we have to study the. You saw the mountain, no? We are very confident that it is not bedrock. That's sand, and with the water, the rain, the sun, the sand has been solidified. But in our personal opinion, it's very simple to remove all that mountain, and probably inside there is the second Sphinx.
Okay. So then what are next steps for you then? Like you want to talk about this, you want to get it out, you're going to do a presentation in Italy about this in a couple of months, but so you would need to get permission to be able to work with.
In this case, we have located some special entrances where we can work in situ. It means that we have wrote a project proposal that can be submitted to the Egyptian authorities. This project proposal, in this project proposal, we have specifically indicated that there are some shafts that are visible, that are located between the first Sphinx and the Khafre pyramid. There are 2 or 3 shafts. One of them is very huge, and there is the slide where, and this huge shaft is blocked by some debris. We don't know why there is here. I were on the Giza Plateau, and we were measuring the depth of these shafts, because at a certain level below are blocked by debris. So these facilities can be easily cleaned up, removed by the debris that there is on the bottom, and maybe we could have a clear access to the underground, a safe access to the underground. It is obvious that this cleaning facility has to be done not by humans but by robots, because it is not safe.
By robots?
Yes, robots. Okay. Yes, because it's not safety to send a person now there. Why? Because the shafts are very deep, and maybe can be that bubble of air can be by between the soil, the debris, so it is a bit dangerous. If we send robots, they can do the work for us very safely, and we can clean the shafts and go down and have direct access to the underground of Giza.
Okay, that's fascinating. Hey, and could be a huge discovery. So congratulations, and hopefully you can push this forward. Ryan, can you try to pull up, as we're talking, maybe just the elevation of that particular spot versus the elevation of the Sphinx currently, and maybe just see if there's any kind of estimate that we can get on how deep the second Sphinx might be? I think that would be pretty interesting to understand.
Yes, that we can do it directly. I think we can do it remotely just a rough estimation. We can use satellites to estimate the top of the in elevation, in terms of elevation, with respect to the topography. We have to do a survey where the topography can be the reference system. Then we measure the top of the head of the first Sphinx. We project that height following the topography of the Giza Plateau to the second Sphinx, and we can see if the top of the first Sphinx can match to the top of that mountain. It's good, yes.
Yeah,
we
sure.
should do it, and we will do it immediately.
Great. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I think the thing to do now would be to take a quick break and let's
Yes.
get a bite to eat, and then come back, and then I want to give you a chance to respond to some of the skeptics about the work. So
Yes.
we'll do that. But that's fascinating, man, and thank you so much. I'm honored and thrilled that you would not only fly, all the way from Italy to come out and chat on the podcast, but also have that big reveal here on the podcast a couple months before you do the main presentation. So thank you.
Thank you
That's
very
awesome.
much.
Yeah, that's
Thank
very cool. Yep. And welcome back. Yeah, just some mind-blowing stuff on the second Sphinx and the possibility of that. And
Yes.
so thank you for sharing it. I think there has to be something there, right? I mean, even if it's just that location, whatever it is, it's just I was just blown away by the surface area of the pyramids being the same as those triangles, pointing to the exact location of the Sphinx and pointing to the exact location of something else.
Yes.
And so, yeah.
According to the symmetry of the stele that we saw at the beginning of the presentation, the geometrical scheme that I showed you is symmetrical. We found exact in that position. We found a lot of correlation, 100% of correlation, and also on the cubic we have exact correlation on the areas. So it's very important that on the angles and on the length of each distance.
Yeah, for sure.
And symmetrically.
Yep. Okay. Well, awesome. So for the second part of this, we're going to get into some of the skeptical kind of stuff and some of the questions that people might have about the methods and the science and the data and whatnot. So I'll give you the opportunity to respond to that. I guess first off, just to frame it though, where did the technology come from? Like how did you create it, or what?
Yes.
How did it begin?
It began immediately, 5 seconds to imagine it. I tell you, it was like a quantum revelation in my mind, because 5 seconds before that quantum revelation, I didn't know anything about that. 5 seconds later, everything. It is impressive. Impressive how human consciousness is. Matt, we are not machines. We are not computers. We are something divine. We are the creator of the universe.
No,
Yeah.
you're
We are
not.
the
Don't
creator
blow
of
it.
what-
Come on. Look at the ego now, man. Don't blow it up. Stay humble. Stay humble. When Nebuchadnezzar had a glimpse of trying to reach absolute ego, he fell down in 7 years, was acting like an animal. Just saying.
we want to manifest in this reality. This is in my personal opinion, the thing that we humans have to learn during this life, that we come here to do this experience on the earth, the experience of duality, the experience of the matter experience. This is a direct experience of the creation, and we are here in our nice life that we are performing here, a life where, especially in this period of time where we have a lot of wars scattered on all the world, competition. You go in the street, walking on the streets, and people are always thinking about money, They are all the values of the humans that is typical of our soul, of humanity. We are losing it, so we have to be careful.
Yeah, yeah, well said. So, was it like a download of information that came to you then?
Yes.
Was it? It was almost
Immediately,
like
a quantum revelation. It means that something abrupt that happened inside of me.
and then you had to somehow convert that thought or that idea into something that could process
Yes.
the images and the information.
Yes,
So,
but I was really sure to be successful in this. So I spent
I can respect that.
most of the time, as you told me, you suggest me, and I thank you for this, to translate this quantum revelation into something that could be reliable, could be compatible with the computer software, but it works perfectly.
so the software then is what did you create it by
Yes.
yourself? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
And so is it just
Interesting.
physics? I mean, how is it? How?
Yes, the software translates the physics that we explained before into a numerical application that because the computer is used to process matrices and numbers, no, and the digital numbers. So the difficulty was to translate this physics into a software that can elaborate numbers, can then process numbers.
And how long does it take for the software to process, like a scan? For
That tomographic line, a rough estimation, in 2 or 3 days you can have it, but a higher resolution you need a lot of time. Maybe also 1 month of processing.
Oh boy.
Because it's like a miner, a Bitcoin miner that has to do recursive correlations,
Interesting.
and so has to recalculate the fast Fourier transforms in order to retrieve the tomographic inversion.
And is this something that anybody could do, that could create this if they
Yeah. Why not? Can be replicated, yes.
And so the
People can replicate it. At the moment, there are 2 intellectual properties that I did immediately, but not because I wanted to do it only to say, okay, I have 2 patents on this. Where I say on the first patent, okay, it is possible to do this. On the second patent, we can do this, but in a more precise manner, let's say like that. But of course, people can replicate I expect that somebody could replicate the experiments, because this can be more if a third party prove the same things, is better for me and for everyone, because it means that the technique is robust.
right with the same method, but almost preferably a different method, right? I mean,
Yeah.
wouldn't a different method seeing the same thing that your method is seeing?
Yes.
That's almost necessary for the Egyptian authorities to go in and excavate a certain area. Don't they have to have 2 methods of
It could be better, absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
And if the second method is developed independently by another research group, it is 100% sure that
And gives the same
they will
results.
use another path, processing path, to arrive to the same thing. So that's very important for science.
Okay, so you're keeping
that's
it
right.
pretty close to the vest in terms of the how it exactly works.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, at the moment, yes, because it is something mine that came from me, and it is natural that at the beginning I have it with me. It is also human, this. Matt, I spent a lot of years. It is 33 years that I study these things, so all my life, and it's natural that I keep it with me. the technology for the moment.
And when you say for the moment, when and where do you see that changing? When do you see this becoming open source?
Let's wait some time that maybe what we can do in the future. In the future, surely we will. Now we finish all the scans on the Giza Plateau. On June we have finished everything. I reset my computers, and maybe the next will be Awara. Awara will be the next. So we will move to Awara, and then other megalithic sites. And while we do all these works, slowly we will release publicly the methods. Let's wait some time. Okay.
And the data exists from the satellite images that anybody can have access to?
Yes.
Anybody. So there's already the data, the photos from the satellite imagery already exist for Hawara and the entire Giza Plateau.
I already have everything. I have all the image of Hawara, of all the megalithic major megalithic sites.
And so it's just the process of allowing the computing power and the program to analyze the images that already exist.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the software takes an image, reprocess the image in the sense that the software knows that has to grab the acoustic information that is hidden inside the dataset. Because an image is a dataset. Inside the data, there is the acoustic information.
And so, I mean, if the software was applied to, it could be applied to the entire Earth, and you could map out 1,000 meters below every square inch of the entire Earth if
also
you had
the
enough,
South Pole, Matt.
If
also
you had
the
enough
South
computing
Pole.
power and time, I guess, right? Yeah.
It is a question of computer power. And the question of is a trading between the computer power, the energy that we have to spend to make run fluently the computers with respect to the time that I have to wait to have the results.
Ryan asked you a real good question at lunch, I thought, which was, would this work underwater? And we're just not sure yet.
Underwater, it is highly experimental for now, but I am quite confident.
Okay.
Let's say like that.
Okay. And so how many areas have you scanned?
Yes. Excluding the Giza Plateau, I have scanned other parts of the world. I tell you, before moving to the Giza Plateau, we did, or also while doing the Giza Plateau, in parallel, we made specific scans in order to validate and calibrate the method. So I showed the results that we have obtained in other presentations, also in the Cosmic Summit, where we retrieved the shape, let's say the shape of facilities that were located underground. One of them, let's say the physics laboratory that is located inside the Gran Sasso d'Italia mountain, where I live. There is a huge mountain nearly 3,000 meters high. And inside this mountain, there is a physics laboratory where they study the neutrinos. Inside this mountain, so there is this facility, and we,
CERN?
using the satellite, we have retrieved the shape of the laboratory that is located 1.4 kilometers in depth with respect to the top of the mountain.
Wow. So a mile. It's a mile below ground,
mile,
basically.
yes.
Yeah. Wow.
A mile of rocks.
Bro.
And with detailed resolution. With detailed resolution.
Wow. Incredible. Okay. Well, yeah, let's go through a few of the questions. I asked you who maybe the biggest critics were of the work, and you said, "Oh, the guy with the hat," which I thought was.
I don't remember his name. I don't know. He's a
Doesn't
nice
matter.
guy. I
Yeah.
have nothing against him.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
a
yeah.
nice scientist. He is an academic, I think. No.
Archaeologist,
An
so kind of a
archaeologist,
scientist.
yes.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely an academic. Yeah. So here's some questions, and again, in this section, we're just going to kind of talk through some of the skeptics and kind of what their current pushback is, so that you have an opportunity to address that, because that feels like the one missing component that I haven't really heard on other podcasts yet.
Yes.
Would be your response to some of the critics.
Yeah, I remember only because I never see the critics because I don't care about what they say others. It is normal that people are compliant or they are against. I accept everything, but usually I don't see the. I don't know. They do podcasts. No, I think to debunk the debunking podcast that they do. But once I stopped for 10 minutes watching specific interviews of that guy, that gentleman with the hat,
Yeah.
that I
Flint Dibble.
text. How
Flint Dibble.
Flint Dibble.
Dibble. Yeah, that's his name.
Never heard him.
Yeah. Yeah.
He told me indirectly that I don't believe in my method. How can he say this? That I don't believe. I don't know. I am here today. I don't believe. Matt, in this podcast, I say I declare that I don't believe in my method. It's.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
Either. Yeah. Yeah. That's generally where you get to as you start to explore some of the comments that that the critics make. It's very confusing. So old GPR scans under Khafre have only found two small, likely natural voids. Okay, so there have been two natural voids that have been found under the Khafre pyramid, and the criticism is that they don't show up on your diagrams. Is that true?
Ok. Allora, GPR is a ground penetrating radar. It means that we have a radar installed on a sort of grass cutter like that, and this radar passes on the ground 21 meters to 33 meters deep, where those known small voids show up in your diagrams. Why? Our diagram are order of magnitude in terms of penetration, let's call penetration, that we can have with respect to a ground penetrating radar. Now, if the GPR scans under the Khafre only found two small likely natural voids at 21 meters and 33 meters deep, we should, who made this this remark that I thank him for this remark, we can do this. They can provide me a geocoded scan of that GPR at minus 21 meter, and we can exactly compare my scans, because why 21 meters are very small, because we can scan 4 kilometers, so 25 meters is very narrow, and we have to see if in the first pixel line we find the natural voids on my scans, because 21 meters it's only one pixel in my scans. I don't know if I am explaining this. And so we can't resolve the presence of natural voids. I don't know if I am.
So it's too small for you to
It's
pick
too
up?
small,
Okay,
yes.
got it. So those two are too small for you to pick
Okay.
up. Now,
But I am not saying that they are not present. We have to compare geocoded scans of that GPR with the geocoded scans of my scans. So to make a perfect overlap of the two results, and then we can see if really I can detect those voids. Okay.
okay. So when you're scanning these massive pyramids and they're vibrating very,
Yeah.
very small amounts, and that vibration is what your software is using to construct the tubes underneath, or
Yeah.
do you call them tubes or
Tubes,
tubes?
yes,
Yeah,
the
with
tubes.
the spirals on them. How can that, like, have you scanned any other? There's no other, I guess, large enough structures on Earth as big as the pyramids. Built with 2.4 million, 2-ton stones. That maybe it's just the. Have you considered like what is it that makes you not think that these tubes underneath the pyramids are just a byproduct of the turbulence that's happening on the surface of the pyramid
Yeah.
itself?
Thank you for this question. Yes. We are very confident that those tubes are there. Very confident. It means that we are measuring features that may be highly possible that those tubes are present. Okay? In order to avoid what you asked me, we did a highly scientific approach. It means that synthetic aperture radar data can be developed by different satellite systems. We have Cosmos Skymed second generation, ISI, Capella Space, Umbra Space, and other satellites. We focused on these 5 satellite systems: 2 Cosmos Skymed, ISI, Capella Space, and Umbra. We collected data from these different satellites, and we were measuring the same thing. So it means that the diversity, we used the scientific approach, allowing diversity in terms of sensors, orbits, so electronics, different electronics that are mounted composing the payload of different satellites, and we obtain the same results.
Okay, good. Thank you. And then the King's and the Queen's chamber, are those visible on your scans? Are those big enough?
Now absolutely, yes.
Yeah, we saw that earlier.
We saw them.
Yeah, we saw that earlier.
Yes.
I didn't see I think I saw one of the chamber, but maybe it was the Grand Gallery that wasn't.
The Grand Gallery, then there was the King's chamber on the top, Queen's chamber, and the other chamber that is on the bottom.
Okay, let's pull that image up. I'd
And
love
the big
to.
void also.
Yeah, gotcha. So this image just happens to not have the Grand Gallery.
The Grand Gallery is
Okay, I gotta stop 1 second. You see this bright section here with red? So this is kind of like a dissection of a pyramid. These are the tunnels here within the pyramid, and here at the very base of the pyramid, this guy, the Italian guy, said something like, this is something like we shouldn't be worried about that, something like noise in terms of flashy, low vibration, something like that. Well, my question is, the tunnels that they showed us underneath the pyramid were just as flashy as this. So how does he differentiate between what we should focus and what we shouldn't focus?
blue because it's empty. the tomographic line, here you have the Grand Gallery. If the tomographic line is here you have air. So you don't have matter. So it's blue.
It's blue.
If you move the tomographic line and you intercept the walls of the Grand Gallery, you see it red.
Okay. So on a different scan, you would see the Grand Gallery appear red. Do you have one of those scans, or?
Okay, let's see. There is one. There is the Grand Gallery. Look, there.
Okay.
The Grand Gallery. That's the Grand Gallery.
Okay.
And then we have another one, but I don't remember. We should... no, on the... Up. Yes. Thank you. Up. Okay, down. That's the Grand Gallery.
Okay.
The Grand Gallery.
Okay.
So the big void is not directly above the Grand Gallery.
No, it is... we are not what... Matt, the acoustics, when you that's important to know why we did a lot of scans, because the acoustics, when it is not like, okay, I have the photo, that's the photo on using the optics. No, here you are processing sound, and when you process sound, sometimes things you watch things very well, and sometimes you watch nothing. So you have to try and retry. It's like that.
Okay, gotcha.
It's not perfect.
Okay, so but if the Grand Gallery was directly below the big void,
yes,
would we see both of them in the same
Absolutely,
image?
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So they have to. So it has to be offset a bit.
Maybe.
Okay. How do you mean?
But probably, Matt, if we are interested to focus attention on the big void, we can open again the measurements campaign dedicated on the to match better and better the big void. I can do it to make additional scans again on the
iterations. He's trying to say to make
But
iterations.
a good I know very well those scans because I know them. I can read the results very well. There I am watching. No, that's the Grand Gallery, and the big void. We should because we tracked the big void on no, the big void that is tag 19, the green box there, that green box, and we watched that green box on the scan that we saw before, where that is present on the bottom of the paper.
Okay. So wow.
Okay.
So this has the big void as a very long and rectangular shaped void.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Interesting. I can't wait to get in there. Can't wait to get in there and see what's inside.
It will be very useful for us to know if the exact shape of the big void, so to see if I am right. Okay.
Okay. All right. Good. Yeah. So, why not openly share the processing methods and codes? And you've already answered that question, I think. So we can skip that one. You do feel like you will do that at some point. It's just fresh.
I want to make an additional answer to question number 3. The methods are all explained on the papers and on the patents, so everyone can replicate. It is not a problem. So I don't know why they are saying, why do not openly share your full processing methods? if I use my full processing methods, which is the translation of the physics into mathematical computation. But it is only the translator. The physics are written on the paper, so everyone can do his own software and can replicate the experiments. I don't know, it's has not sense. Question number 3 has not sense.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you. And then, if your 2022 Great Pyramid paper was peer reviewed, why haven't the CAFRA claims been submitted yet for a top journal for peer review?
Yes, that's an interesting question. First thing, I am tired. So that's the first answer, because it's true. A peer review paper is terrible. The review processing is terrible. But we submitted a the work on a journal. The journal gave us a lot of reviews to perform that we are doing.
You submitted it to where?
To a journal.
Okay.
To a peer-reviewed journal.
Okay. Are you able to say which one?
No, I don't want to.
Okay.
Because with the editor we are a bit. We have something that we want to change the journal, because Matt, this method is a bit controversy, and the implications are a bit how you say,
risky for some.
what happened was worldwide, and the editor of a journal, before publishing our results, implicitly saying, okay, it is everything is okay. So we are finding a bit something that I never seen in peer review journals. Let's say like that.
It's a bold claim.
So the answer is we are still working in submitting our work on another journal.
Okay. Got it. Any thoughts on the timing on when that might happen?
We choose it IEEE transactions on geoscience and remote sensing. That's the journal.
Okay.
And we will submit it after the conference.
In May.
In June. In June.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, great.
Okay.
Great. Yeah. Would you support a hypothetical question, I guess? Would you support an independent team applying your protocol to the same satellite data to see if they could get matching results? So what if someone signed an NDA to be able to use?
We are doing it.
You're doing it.
Yes.
Okay, great.
We are doing it.
Okay.
And this is being done by Stanford University.
They're using your methods.
Yes.
To recreate and to see what results.
Under an NDA.
Okay. When is that happening?
Matt, we are under NDA.
Okay. They Stanford is, or you are?
Both of us.
Oh, okay.
Me and Stanford.
Okay. Got it. So you can't talk about that?
No.
Okay. Got it. So, okay.
But we are doing it.
Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Any idea, can you talk about like when the results might be out?
It depends on Stanford, because they had to begin from when you begin a new research, you have to make how you say bibliography. You have to start from bibliography, then you move to some preliminary processing data, and then you have to do other things, and so move further. So this needs time.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I think people are.
But we are doing it.
Good. Fantastic. And then next question would be,
Yes.
how do you rule out noise?
Yes.
Yeah.
The paper you showed us. I know that there are artifacts, noise. What do you want? Okay, I accept it. One was the first paper, so was the 1.0 version. To cut off noise, artifacts, and other things, you have to use a tool called filter. And filtering is done using a particular window. So a filtering windowing. In this case, a three-dimensional filtering window. To do this, you need more powerful computational effort with respect to the 1.0. So it is a question of powerful of computers. At the moment, we don't have an institution that pay us any computer we want, any processing efforts we want. We are doing it with our. We have some supporters that are that bought us some computers, yes, but we are not. We don't have infinite money to buy computers. So to do that, we have to increase the computational power. Yes, we will do it. So 6, we will do it.
Okay.
If somebody support us in buying other computers, we will do it. So who did that remark maybe can join with me. He can call me. Okay. And okay, these are the computers, the additional computers. Now you can remove noise, artifacts, and other things, because I have to filter, and to filter I don't have to do 1 tomogram, but I have to do 10 or 20 tomograms, so to average the results. I don't know if I am explaining this.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I'll ask if I don't understand or have follow-up questions or whatever. But yeah, these questions are just, again, I mean, it's an opportunity for you to express yourself
Thanks.
and to clear the air and to just, make sure that that you're answering any questions that people might, throw at you. And so I think it's a good.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah, it's a great opportunity for you to do that. So. Experts, including radar specialists and hydrogeologists, say deep structures below the water table couldn't survive flooding / collapse over millennia. So how do we, if there are, I guess the question is, if there are these tubes of limestone, I guess it would be limestone, right?
Yeah.
Because the limestone bedrock goes down.
Yes.
Gosh, it goes down for a long way. But so beneath the pyramid, there's about 100 feet, maybe 80 to 130 feet, give or take, based on fluctuations, of solid limestone bedrock.
Yes.
And then just below that, there's the water table, that begins. And the water table goes down thousands of feet, right? Or at least a couple of thousand feet, 1,000 meters maybe we'll call it. And within that water table, underneath the solid bedrock that supports these massive structures, you have all of this limestone that has been kind of degraded by water, and the limestone is, of course, porous, and so the water fills the pores, and it creates kind of more unstable limestone structures that would change over time. Is according to the radar specialists and hydrogeologists. I think that's what they're saying. So I guess how do you account for the water and the water damage that would have occurred? And then maybe that's A, and then B might be, if there are these tubes and these chambers, why aren't the chambers filled with water? Yeah.
They are. This question has not been asked to me.
Okay.
I just measure. Has to be asked to specialists and hydrogeologists. Because I tell you, Matt, on my scans, we see everything. We see the water table, but inside the water table there are these structures that are survived. Okay, so probably there is the water, there is the bedrock, and there is everything. There are the structures. Because the water table, yes, there is the water table, but it's not water, just a swimming pool.
No.
It is like a sponge that has the water. So you have the bedrock with the water, no? And then you have and then you have the structures that are inside the bedrock. We are not sure that this bedrock can be porous. How you say?
Porous.
Porous. Right. We are not sure.
The limestone bedrock is porous.
It's porous, okay, but the structure are present because we are measuring the structure. So it is like Matt. We are used to consider things or white or black. Let's go in the time, this I like to repeat this kind of phenomena, at the time of Guglielmo Marconi. Guglielmo Marconi used to perform for the first time in the world his experiment. Okay, let's do a intercontinental transmission from England to the Cornovaglia, no? Passing the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean. Everyone was saying, no, he is mad, he's stupid, it can't work. It can't work because of the knowledge of that time. Because the knowledge of that time was Maxwell theorized the electromagnetic wave classical physics theory, which electromagnetic waves travels in a straight line. Very good. It is true. Hertz, just with Augusto Righi, observed the electromagnetic waves practically. They measured, okay, exist the electromagnetic waves, okay. Marconi wasn't graduated, no? He was something that he liked to do things practically. He knew the Tesla. He went to him also to learn things about electromagnetics, okay? They were friends. Okay, he decided to do this experiment. But the transmitter and the receiver, they were blocked in line of sight because of the Earth curvature. It is impossible. It can't work, they used to say. Why? Because they are not in line of sight. And because of the theory of Maxwell, and because of the experiments of Augusto Righi and Hertz, it can't work. It can't work. But why? He switched on the transmitter and the receiver, it worked. Why? Because there is, in any black and white duality option, there is always a third via.
The gray.
Good. Yeah. So let's explore what that might be in this case.
Yeah.
So
in the case of Marconi, the existence of the ionosphere.
Sure.
Because nobody knew of the presence of the ionosphere.
Right.
So the electromagnetic, boom, boom. In this case, there should be something that
Italians.
make survive the structures that are inside, below the earth, and to be compatible with the water table and with all the features that we don't know. I just measure, but they are existing. So study, because they are experts in what there is underneath. I am not expert. I am an expert in radar. I make measurements, and the measurements are those. So they have to answer. And if they ask those questions, I can understand that they know nothing about those things. There should be an answer that at the moment they don't know. I can't know things that they should know because I'm a radar expert.
Okay.
I'm not a geologist. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I refuse that remark.
Okay. Okay. So I guess a good way to think, and you're doing a great job answering these questions, and thank you for remaining non-defensive about them and open to answer to the best of your ability. It's super appreciated, and and the questions are just designed to allow you to express your thoughts and feelings and knowledge on the topic. So hopefully, and I think that we're doing that. So thank you for doing a great job answering the question. I guess so. I'm trying to visualize what it might look like beneath the pyramids, and so when I look underneath the pyramids and I see that science or whoever is telling me that there's about 100 feet of solid limestone bedrock underneath the pyramid, and then beneath that you have more solid. You have more limestone bedrock, but it's all within this quote-unquote water table. And so you're right, that doesn't mean that there's these huge gaps and swimming pools at that point and below. It means that the water is there and it's infiltrated the limestone and it's created gaps and fissures, and it's a very pliable, moist environment, basically. So when I hear that and I understand that that's what it's like under there, and that when you dig to that level, you're going to be able, if you put a drill down to that level, you're going to be able to pump water out of that area, just like we do here when we install wells. So I guess my question is, like, these structures that look like they go down, if that whole area is already limestone and what we're seeing with the tubes is just a solid tube of limestone, what is around the solid tube of limestone? Were they removing the bedrock material to expose the tubes that were already there? And if so, then what is around those tubes? Is it sand? Is it water? Is it more limestone? Like, does your analysis talk about that?
Yes, as I told you before, my technique is not able to recognize material, but we can recognize the density of the material.
Right.
Okay. So, because we are watching the tubes, so the density of the material is high. In order to know the truth of everything, in my personal opinion, the thing that we have to do is to go there personally and observe personally what it is.
Okay. Gotcha.
Stressing the fact that there is the water table, there is the bedrock, but there are also the tubes. So something the reason on why and on how these things are together present, we don't know why, but there are.
Okay. Gotcha.
So there would be a reason, a technical reason to allow the existence of those things also inside the water table.
Yeah, good. Okay. Yeah, it seems like that's maybe one that deserves a little bit more thought, and potentially maybe other people in the comments might have, some thoughts on that to be able to provide some possibilities.
Maybe we can observe. If the Egyptian authority will give us the authorization to go inside the shafts, we can have direct access from the nearly top, so let's say from 30 or 40 meters below with respect to the topography, to intercept some horizontal tunnels that goes straight to the Khafre pyramid, and maybe we can intercept those shafts and we can see AV what there is and how they are made, the material and everything.
And I think in one of the images it had these chambers at the bottom of it and at the bottom of the shaft.
Yes.
And so, I mean, is that equally as dense as the shaft? And are you saying that the shaft is hollow and that?
See.
Okay, so the shaft
and they have something spiral
on the outside or on the inside?
in the inside.
On the inside of the shaft.
You have a core on the inside and something that turns.
Almost like a
around
staircase,
the core.
potentially, or
Potentially.
yeah, or something. Are
something related to helicoidal things. I don't know.
Okay. So like it could be a part of the power plant, kind of. Who knows?
Maybe,
I guess.
who knows? Yes.
Okay.
Maybe the Chris Dunn that I lo saluto. I will say hello, Chris, and he's very kind.
I'm sure he's watching.
Yes.
Chris was our second guest on the show, so.
He's wonderful.
Yeah, he is. He's just a great guy. Yep. Okay, so unknown, but then, I mean, to keep the water out is a whole other. And how do you create a structure where that water is surrounding this area with so much pressure to be?
I know, but because we are. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for this question. We are turning around this dilemma like that. How they can. Coexist these issues together.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, more research needs to be done. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay.
But by them.
Yeah.
By geologists.
Right.
Not by me.
Right.
I'm not a geologist.
Got it. Okay, good. Yeah, I think there were just maybe a couple of more questions. So if the structures predate the pyramids, why do you think that there's no mention of these structures in the ancient texts?
The first one, the number 8.
Yeah.
Okay, if the spread structure of the pyramids, why do not mention? Maybe an Egyptologist can answer to that question.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I guess not everything is necessarily recorded or written down, and maybe the Egyptians never even got inside.
Matt, I appreciate all these things, but I suppose or I can expect people asking me a question like this. Filippo, what do you think about your Doppler subaperture procedure according to this kind of procedure, why it is working like that? So, question related to the focusing technique of synthetic aperture radar images. But not, I am not a geologist. I am not an Egyptologist, an Egyptian, a guy that studies Egypt. No.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I have, of course, no idea the extent to which you had thought through some of the questions that people might have about the project. So if some of these have not been contemplated, then that's okay.
Yes, it is like a man, I don't know, that works making a pizza, no? He makes pizza, and you ask him why that quantum computer is not working. Tell me why. He does the pizza. He tells you put on the electricity.
Okay,
no?
so we'll skip that
Does the
question.
pizza.
Egyptian authorities
He's right.
only, and I think this is the last question.
Yeah.
Egyptian authorities only allow investigation if features are confirmed by more than one geophysical method. What second method will confirm
Yes.
the massive tubes and voids?
That's I can answer. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. I reconnect things on the project proposal that we are submitting to Egyptian authorities. So we have as a background my scans. That's a background. So we have this. We have estimated the vertical shaft, the horizontal corridors. Other things, I don't know, the second Sphinx. So we have a plethora of results to show to Egyptian authorities. But the project proposal that I wrote together with the University of Ferrara, Professoressa Carmela Vaccaro, which she's wonderful that I wave her now today. She is a geologist, and the first thing that she told me, Filippo, we have to go in situ. I bring all my instruments, my more than one geologist method, so with me, and we begin an independent measuring campaign. So everyone with established methods, with state-of-the-art methods and multiple methods, because we are using seismic reflectivity, electrical reflectivity tomography, and muons also. So 3 methods. In order to detect, to scan what there is deeply inside, so we can go also kilometers with the seismic reflectors, and passive seismic tomography also we can do. And so we start again. We start with a second life, with more than one geophysical method. Once we have all the results, and we confirm my tomographies, because I'm sure that we will confirm my scans, we start to phase 2, which is to go inside the shaft and clean the shafts. And so to try and access the horizontal corridors, and arriving to the Khafre pyramid, and try to intercept the coils that goes below the earth.
Okay.
That's the project.
Okay. Well, good. Yeah, those were some of the tougher questions, I think, and you did a phenomenal job of answering them. So thank you. And then I guess just maybe just a couple more, thoughts or questions, kind of as we close out. And I guess just for me, to help me understand the surface vibration conversation of measuring the surface vibrations and being able to determine the density of the rock or the substance below for up to potentially 1,000 meters or more than 1,000 meters.
Yes.
How is it that how does a surface vibration, something that's only happening at the very surface of the earth, how does it distinguish between what it's measuring 10 meters below the ground from 500 meters below the ground?
Absolutely. I give you the answer of this. It's called the fast Fourier transform. The fast Fourier transform is the particular algorithm that implements the digital Fourier transform, and let's say the analog version, the Fourier transform. So let's say you have a oscillating phenomena, a time domain oscillating phenomena here, like that, particular here. It means that if you have a sensor here, we are speaking about seismic reflection tomography. it's the same. It measures the vibration here. And you record these vibrations in the time domain. It means that on the horizontal axis you have the time, on the vertical axis you have the energy, like that. It is not a sinusoid, but it is a combined oscillation. Why combined? Because you have, if you do the spectrum, so you perform the Fourier transform of this time domain, oscillation, you will retrieve the so-called sources. It means that you start finding principal vibrational sources that are located underneath, and they transmit energy directly to the surface. So the surface, you find the sum of all the sources, principal sources that are located below.
Okay.
Just performing a Fourier transform.
Okay.
So the spectrum of the time domain revelation that you have on the surface.
Just from one image.
Yes.
Just from
Yes, because one image, but only on SAR, on synthetic aperture radar, you can do this. Why? Just on one image. You see, any image is static, no? Is not true. A SAR image is dynamic. It means that you can refocus this image according to a filtering process, and while you filter this, you can perform a sliding window filtering, and so you can transform a static image into a small video. That this small video in the time domain can belongs for maybe 10 seconds. That's a sufficient statistic, 10 seconds of video, to retrieve the vibration, the superficial vibration, in order to perform tomographic inversion.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Very helpful. Yeah.
So, sorry if I was too technical.
No, that's
maybe.
good. It's good that he's technical. That means he's not a phony. It means he knows his stuff, you know? So he should be taken seriously.
I don't know, but
Not at
has
all,
to be
no.
done like that.
Yeah, understood. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it has to be explained. So, thank you. Yeah. What other parts of the world kind of fascinate you that you might think about going to next? Like, I think about Göbekli Tepe or
Yes.
Sacsayhuaman or
We are
Peru.
in connection with some supporters like Eugene and Brian, that I wave them. They are so kind, and they are with them. I'm sorry for them that I not yet starting massive work with them, but I know that I have to do it. We will scan all those sites that you are mentioning, starting from Awara, and then the Sacsayhuaman and Awara, Sacsayhuaman, and other. I'm sorry, I don't remember them because I'm not
Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu. Yes.
Ollantaytambo, potentially.
Yes. Göbekli
Tepe.
Tepe.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, fantastic.
We will do everything.
Do you think that it's a matter of time until artificial intelligence is able to replicate this and create a... I mean, AI is currently writing its own software.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could be, but for now it's too early. As I told you before, Matt, humans are here and artificial intelligence is here.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence can't never surpass all the artificial intelligence on all the world. If we sum the computational power of all the intelligence, artificial intelligence can't never pass just the consciousness of one man composing the population of this world.
How do you mean? What do you mean?
It means that artificial intelligence is not able to think, but we are able to think. And
Hence, we can definitely almost create thoughts. But with all the computation power, AI is restricted in a sense where it can't compute with as much data has been provided. But we are not provided with the thoughts that we create. We create those thoughts. You see? Hence, we can invent new things and we can always be above. That's an interesting point of view this guy just mentioned, man. All right.
Think thoughts are something, the magic thing, the magic energy that we have.
The soul, brother. You realize that? Come to Christ. It's the soul that gives us that freedom. We're not living in a deterministic universe. We have free will, and it comes from the soul.
Okay.
That composes consciousness.
Yeah, but so today, artificial intelligence is large language models, of course, and
they are just correlations.
Yeah.
Artificial intelligence are convolutions, integrals.
Right.
Convolutions, only convolutions.
Convolutions.
Convolution, it means I have this, I
Compare
compare them,
exactly.
and I find...
And it compares encrypted words encrypted in symbols or digits.
Score function. If the score function is below, if the integral of the score function is below,
he knows his stuff because I work
bound,
with this.
Okay, it's false. Is if up the bound, okay, it's true. That's artificial intelligence. Is a robot, a computer chatbot, a robot that will never surpass human.
Even so, it's a large language model today, but even when artificial general intelligence and artificial superintelligence
always
comes out.
Matt.
Yeah.
Who made artificial intelligence? Humans. So we can't do something that overcomes our intelligence, our consciousness. I don't know if I am explaining this better with my poor English.
No, your English is great. I think you're doing a great job. So thank you. I'm actually, I was a little bit worried after Rogan's episode because I had to use closed captions to really get all of it. But I'm tracking with you today. I can totally hear, totally Thank understand. You. So very nice job.
I have really appreciated this invitation because it's very really. I enjoyed a lot this podcast.
Me too. Yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun to get to know you for sure. And you mentioned, I don't know if you want to say this, but what was the Joe Rogan experience? How was that experience for you?
It was very, very, very nice. Yes. I also there I enjoyed a lot the conversation with Joe. Wow, I was very. How you say in English? Emozionato, very
nervous.
Not stressed, but
nervous.
A bit nervous, yes, but everything went okay.
Good.
He is a good guy.
He is.
He invited me again. Let's see when we go.
Really? Okay. Nice. Yes. Excellent. And any other big podcasts or plans for you coming up?
Jesse Michaels called me two times. Once he came in Corciano, where I live. It was very kind. He came one day to my house, and we made a podcast from my house.
Very nice.
Yes.
Nice.
I appreciated a lot that conversation with him.
Yeah, for sure. Did you do something with Jeffrey?
But Jeffrey also. We made. He came here, Jeffrey. No, you invite also.
I did.
Jeffrey.
Yeah,
yes,
he did. We talked for a long time.
Yes, long time. Yes.
Jeffrey's great. Yeah. Yep. Great guy.
We made with Jeffrey 4 hours of podcast with Jesse.
That's nothing. Yeah, we went 7 hours. I think,
my God,
bro, 7 freaking hours.
But all these podcasts.
Let's go.
Then this, I say it by my heart. That I did, Matt. This one is number one.
Thank you.
I am really. It's wonderful.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, what is it about it, if you don't mind answering, that makes you feel that way?
I didn't got this question.
What is it about this experience that separates it or that makes you feel that this is number one?
Human relations.
Oh, good.
Yes, because I am. I feel like being in my house.
Oh, good. Even after all those tough questions.
Yes. So
Good.
I am used of all of these questions.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Well, awesome. No, it's great. I greatly appreciate it. It's been, we met at Cosmic Summit, of course, last year. And so.
And you showed me your collection of these nice vases here. And I remember everything about the speech that we had privately together. And
as do I. Yeah, for sure. No, it was great, and great to meet you there. Relatively briefly, but great to meet you there, and then really connect here. And I thought dinner last night was great, and it's been a really great conversation. And there's just a lot to. A lot to take in, a lot to think about with this. I think that it's just absolutely fascinating, and assuming that that this is legitimate and it's real, then this is one of the biggest things in human history that we could be using this technology to really explore the entire Earth and to really understand a lot, everything about human history.
Another thing about human history, and I am convinced that everything that we can do, humans, has to be done with the purpose to help other humans. So that's important. We don't have to think to do things for money. No, because it is something that will never happen. So things has to be done to help other people.
And the money will flow.
I think that it's right to do like that. It's good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's a nice thing.
Do enough good so you don't have to worry about money.
Will be successful. And I don't know, I am thinking, okay, let's apply this technique to research water. I think that water can be
scarce.
One of the principal issue that humans that are staying on this earth here has to consider in the next future, because water is very important.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
Well said. Well, anything else that you want to close with, or
hope the Egyptian authorities will give us the authorization. I don't know.
Yeah.
I am in connection with Ahmed Adili, and we are working together with the Egyptian authorities. We have drafted, but we have finished the project proposal, which is not very long. They are 3 pages. In those 3 pages, there are written the partners, also the geologists that we are, and the Egyptologists that we are. Our intention is to invite and work with us. I can say Robert Schoch, Armando May, and other people that can work with
Robert
us.
Schoch.
And so we have to be all together pursuing the same objective. Go to see what there is underneath there.
Love it. Well, good. Well, don't stop. We got to keep making progress and keep learning. And so thank you. And incredible job today. Really appreciate your work and appreciate your openness to come on and talk and kind of explain things for everybody I think in a deeper and more meaningful way than just kind of explaining the overview of the project. We really went deep today, and so I'm very appreciative of that. And the Sphinx, the second Sphinx. It's mind blowing. And it really makes you think that there's got to be something there. That
mountain is why is there?
Right.
No.
Yeah. That's gonna bother me.
We will do something. I don't know. Something will happen. I don't know.
Yep. Love it. Well, very good. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you very much.
Thank you so much for flying all the way over from Italy
Yes.
to come see me and do this. This has been amazing. So great job. Thank you.
Thank you,
It's
man.
awesome.
Yep.
He flew. Well, there you have it. This was an awesome podcast. I've never seen this podcast before. So, and it was awesome. Great. Well, hope you are intrigued. This is fun. And second Sphinx on the Giza Plateau. That is something, guys. We'll see what will come out of it, and we'll keep an eye on this. Keep a close eye on this. But remember, if somebody told you that he is in the chambers, don't believe him. For the Son of Man shall come in all glory on the clouds of heaven. Amen. All right. Have a great weekend. See you tomorrow. Booyah.